Welcome back. This is Kevin with Everglades Canine Academy, and today we're going to be discussing and demonstrating the importance of doorway manners. Doorway manners are a type of threshold exercise. We're not going to allow the dogs to leave the threshold of the doorway until we give them the release command. In fact, we're going to make them hold it for a certain duration while we walk away, and we're going to reward them for holding it nicely. And then once we're ready, once they've calmed down, we are going to give them the yes reward marker, and we're going to let them come out of the door. This is a very important exercise that we practice with all dogs inside the house. For example, one of the biggest things that I see with canine owners is when I ring their doorbell or when somebody else rings their doorbell. The dogs are always first at the door. Their nose is right where the door opens, and typically when you open the door, the dog is the first one out the door. And I actually always hate to see that. You know, it's really nice when owners have proper ownership of their dog and they don't allow their dog to cross that door threshold until the dog is giving a release a command, okay, or a release marker, right? This really shows the dog, if you can get your dog to hold and not just burst out of the door, it does multiple things for your dog and the relationship for your dog. One, you know, this is really an exercise in commanding space, okay? The leader of the pack will command space, right? You as the owner, as the leader, should really guard the door, not let your dog just burst through with all the energy. You know, especially if you're struggling on walking with your dog. You know, you open the door and the dog just runs right out. All that energy is going out with the dog, and before you know it, you're getting pulled down the street, okay? So doorway manners are one of the first things we establish in dog training. I do it with the kennel, so before the dog is allowed to get out of the kennel, I make sure the dog doesn't just burst right out of the kennel, all right? I practice doorway manners with them. I want to release them out of the kennel, and I also do that out of my kennel room. I want to be able to release them out of the kennel room. I don't just want them flying out until I give them the command, okay? Now this is really, really important for your house, not only for you to assume leadership position and roles over your dog, but also for safety, you guys, for safety, right? If you live on a busy street, if you live in an apartment complex or in a crowded subdivision, you know, if you open the front door and your dog runs right out of the door, I mean, they have the potential to get hit by a car. You know, they have a potential to run and, you know, chase wildlife that's right outside. You know, the fact that they might just not listen to you when you're recalling them, they're just running out the door, they don't even hear you. You know, these are all problems that owners face on a day-to-day basis. So a simple doorway manners exercise can really just eliminate a lot of those problems that you may be facing with your dog not paying attention, right? And this exercise works inside the house with other rooms as well. You know, if your dog is running into your bedroom and stealing your socks, you know, practicing doorway manners with boundaries is extremely important for your dog. You know, it's managing space. It's part of pack structure to manage your dog's space, allowing your dog to do something or not do something, or giving your dog permission when it's time to go is extremely important. And if your canine doesn't realize that, they might just be running the roost, right? And that's something that we don't want. We really want to establish pack structure with our canines, and doorway manners is one of the, you know, hundreds of things that we practice with our canines to ensure that they know that we are the ones that are allowing them to cross the threshold to go outside and to understand the next step in obedience. Doorway manners are a very heavy part So right now I have my dog Hudson and I have Sunny in my kennel room. And every time I practice, I've already let them out of the kennel, so they're free roaming in the kennel room, which is fine. I've already practiced my doorway manners with the kennel. You can see they're patiently waiting and actually building up some frustration to want to come out. And we have like a really rainy day here, so we're going to be kind of really dissecting this doorway manners exercise. And I'm going to make them hold it for a little bit too. Now, what we want to do is when we open the door, if they try to run out right away, I'm going to stop them with spatial pressure. I'm going to use my body and I'm going to completely stop them. I do have a leash on Sunny, so if he does try to scramble out, I will grab the leash and I will put him back inside the room. I'm not just going to give up and let him run by me. Now take in mind, guys, that I have been practicing this with Sunny for the past couple days. Like right when I start boarding dogs, doorway manners are like one of the first things that I practice. So I have a prediction that he's going to hold it really well. I don't want to make it look like, this is the first time we've done this. This is something now that I've been practicing for over a week with him. So he should have it dialed in really nicely. Once the dog is holding it, I may require them to sit. But at first, it's really about just making sure they don't cross that threshold. Okay? So we're gonna kind of get into what that looks like here in a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and open the door and begin the exercise. Now my goal is to have them hold it while I walk away. While I in fact turn my back and walk away. Okay? And if they try to break the threshold, I will keep my eye on them and I'm going to use spatial pressure to push them back inside the room. Until I give them the reward marker, yes! Alright? That is when they are allowed to come out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and begin the exercise now. I want you guys to pay close attention to how I'm using my body. Alright, I'm not going to give them a sit command over and over and over again, or I'm not going to give them commands at the door. I'm simply going to require them just to stay inside the kennel room until I give them the verbal go-ahead to leave. Okay, so here we go. We're going to open the door. There we go. Nope. See, Sunny's trying to leave right away. All right. There we go. I don't know if you can see him. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to move back and forth. I'm going to create a lot of motion. Okay? So he's looking down. When the dog looks down at the ground, that's when they're going to tell you that they want to leave. All right? Here we go. He's really jumpy out the gate. There he goes again. Push him back. Push him back. Wants to leave. There we go. Frustration's building up. All right. But they're holding it really nicely. Now you see he tried to get out, and you saw how quickly I closed the gap on him, okay? All right. Good. Nice and calm. Very good. Now look how much I have to move, guys. Okay, now I'm turning my back a little bit. All right. Notice I'm moving kind of freely. I'm keeping my eye on Sunny because he's really jumpy. Okay. Good boys. Good. Now I'm going to reward with kibble. Good. Good. So, you guys, I never use the command stay. I use good. I like the way it sounds better. Good. And what I'm doing here is I'm reinforcing the fact that they're staying nicely. Good. Little food rewards. Good boys. Good. And they're holding really, really nicely now. All right? I'm observing. I'm watching Sunny. I'm making sure he doesn't come out until I say so. Look at how nicely they're holding it. This is the ideal situation of what you want at your front door, at your back door. Good boys. Good, we're getting, and I didn't even really ask him to sit. I think I asked him one time and he's starting to sit really nicely. Okay, this is an ideal situation for doorway manners. Now picture yourself able to leave your door open, go get your groceries from your car, come back, and your dog is patiently waiting by the door. You having the confidence to know that your dog isn't just going to burst in and out. All right? But you saw at first I had to do some corrections, and my corrections were basically just keeping him from coming out of the door by using my body. Okay? Good boys. Good boys. Okay. And I'm working in corrections with him too. Good boys. Sit. Good. There we go. There we go. Now look how he's thinking. He's holding the threshold. I'm going to go ahead and release the dogs at this point. I feel really good about them holding it. I think it's time to let them go. And as I do this, right, at this point they're allowed to free roam. So I'm going to let them go ahead. We have a little bit of rain today, but I'm going to let them free roam in the yard. I'm going to let them get some energy out, and then we're going to get to the next obedience exercise. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. Other than that, tune in for the next video, and we'll see you on the next exercise. Yes. Good boys. Let's go.